Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna talk about something that I think is not being talked about enough. Friendship breakups are so much harder to deal with than relationship breakups. So we're gonna play a couple videos and we're gonna see what these guys or girls have to say about friendship breakups. So let's get on to the video.
Story time on how I found out my best friend of 5 years, my baby's godmother, actually hated me our entire 5 years of being friends. And yesterday, she confessed to me after 5 years she never liked me, she hated my guts the entire time, and why you should vet your friendships just the same way that you vet your relationships. Me and this girl was friends since 2020 during the pandemic, like early 2020. We met on social media. I think it was even 2019. We hit it off real well. We had the same interests, I'll just say that. We didn't officially meet up in person until I moved to Atlanta in 2021 because she lives in South Carolina and I was in New Jersey, New York. So obviously coming to South Carolina was not in the plans. We building a friendship. We're getting real close. I get married in 2021. She was already married for 2 years when we met. So our husbands met. They got super close. We had this whole family group chat. We all close and da, right? We are like peas in the pod, all of us. I say peas in the pod, I mean families meeting each other, hanging out at each other's houses. We even felt comfortable when we found out we were pregnant in 2022 that they were going to be our new baby's godmother and godfather. So this all is catching me by surprise. Had to give you a little backstory. Yesterday, I get a call, ring, 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 ring. Catches me off guard, completely off guard. Homegirl says, "Hey, I have something to tell you. I've been feeling this way for so long. But mind you, as of recently, I've been telling my husband, I feel like something is off between me and her. Like, you know when you have that feeling, ladies? Like, you know when you know. You have a feeling something is off. But everything kept flying over my head. So she asked, can she call me? We get on the phone. And she's like, all right, I got something to tell you. For the past 4 or 5 years, I've never liked you. I've always been jealous of you. I've always hated you. You can predict." My mouth was like, what? I literally kept saying, what? What? What are you talking about? We were just planning to see each other next month. All of us, our families getting together and having a good time for the holidays. And this is how you were feeling the entire time? But that's not even the half of what she had to say. She goes on to say that she was always praying against the things that I was praying for. So when I was telling her that my husband and I were praying for a baby, and this was 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, when I was telling her these things, she said that she was praying and hoping that we wouldn't conceive. She was praying and believing that when we were pregnant, the baby wouldn't be born. When I was pregnant around 26, 27 weeks, when you get tests for gestational diabetes, I was actually diagnosed with gestational diabetes. I had to retake the test. So, you call your friend, you tell your friend, whatever, hey, pray for me and all these things. Girl said that she was praying that the opposite would happen of what we wanted, which is, of course, for the gestational diabetes to be removed so that I can have a healthy pregnancy. If you know anything about gestational diabetes in itself, you know that that's nothing to play with when you are pregnant at all. So the fact that she found that fun and joyful, and I still called her best friend, and she knew that this baby was going to be her godchild, and she felt comfortable feeling that way, blows my mind. So anyways, the whole time we were on the phone, I'm just listening. I'm just quiet because I'm trying to take in everything that she's saying, because I actually can't believe that these things were going over my head. One time while I was pregnant, it was November of 2022 and I was due March 2023. I came to her because I had a feeling like something was off. And again, when you feel something is off, you really need to take heed and pray about whatever it is that you feel is off of your spirit. So I said something was off. I addressed it with her and we agreed that we both can do better as friends. I should have took that as a sign right then and there to dead this friendship. But she assured me that what I was feeling off was not the case. She was genuinely there to be my friend. The same time I felt this way was the same time I had the gestational diabetes, and she felt a way about me being pregnant, I suppose. She continued on to say that she's always felt competition between us. Whenever I started my photography business, she felt competition in there. Whenever she seen that we were essentially making money moves, I'll just say it like that, she felt some sort of way about that. So last year, December, November, I don't know if you've seen on my TikTok page, if you scroll down, I shared that we were facing eviction, right? She knew about that and her husband knew about that because we were all close. We're like family. So like we're going to the people that we're the most closest to pray for us and to cover us, that of course that we don't end up on the street with a 9-month-old. This girl prayed that we would not have a home to live in. She prayed, she said this out of her own mouth. She was just hoping that we would end up homeless with the 9-month-old that is her godchild, and then still had the audacity to open up her home for us to live there, even though she was feeling these things. She said that it made her feel like they were doing better than us. This is a best friend, somebody that you're confiding in. I was almost like dishing information for her to pray against on me. Did it for me wasn't the fact that she didn't like me this whole entire time. It's that I gave her access to my child, the one that I had prayed for to be here, and I entrusted her to come into agreement with me for this baby. But she had a whole separate agenda this entire time of canceling his life, and I entrusted her to be his godparent. I'm gonna leave it here because she says way more. If you want to hear part 2, then let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna just leave one thing for you ladies. Vet your friendships the same way that you are going to vet your relationships. The same way that you're going to pray and seek God about if this is the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. You need to be praying and asking God, is this a friendship I need to be pouring myself out into? You need to pray and ask God for discernment when we're sharing things with friends. That is women. Sometimes we just want to get all close because we like the same things. We like content creation. We all just going to be friends. We like photography. We just all going to be friends. And no, like ask God, what is the kingdom purpose here for our friendship? Is this somebody I'm going to do life with? Is this somebody I should share my deepest, darkest secrets with? Is this somebody that I can trust with my entire life? Is this somebody I could bring around family? The list goes on. You need to vet your friendships the same exact way that you're going to be vetting your relationships. And that's one thing that I took away from this. And these things for sure will never happen again. Well, I don't know, girl, I'm just excited that God has removed the one thing that I knew was a hindrance in my life. And now I can just move forward with what God has for me in this season. But overall, I just feel like this is all crazy. This is like a movie. I can't believe it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Real friendship breakup almost hurts more than a relationship breakup. Have you ever experienced betrayal from a friend before? Story time on how I got betrayed and ended a 3 years friendship. So I and Ella have been close friends since my first year in uni. We had countless sleepovers, we shared some of our deepest secrets with each other, and we dreamed about life after uni and all we wanted to achieve after school. But this friendship started changing when this third party girl came into the picture. So I would use the name Laura as like the third party girl. So this Laura girl was like a bold and very confident, and me on the other end, I wasn't actually so bold and confident as I then. This Laura girl had a way of always showing herself and like building relationships with people so fast. And I think that was what drew Ella to her, or that was what made Ella become friends with her. So I now noticed that they were always hanging out together, going out to get things together and posting. Ella was always posting this Laura girl, like frequently. Before, it used to be me. So you can imagine how I started feeling that, oh, this is my closest friend is now getting too close to someone else. But at the same time, I was trying to understand that, oh, my friend is also allowed to have other friends. So I was trying not to dip it too much, but I think every normal person would feel something, which is what I felt. Then I started realizing that I was the one always texting her first. Even when I text her, she'll probably not reply immediately, like how it used to be, till maybe after a day, maybe she replied the next day or something. And I was always the one texting first, or replying to her status and all of that, or probably going to her room to check up on her. She wasn't doing any of those things back. And to be honest, I was still trying not to dip it because I do not like problems, until one day, one fateful afternoon. So like this day was a Friday afternoon and I forgot something in her room. I told you that I was the one like now going to her room to check up on her and stuff like that. So I forgot something I took there and decided to go and get it back. There's the way the rooms are built. So like you will see the wall before you see the door of that room. Do you get? You pass on the walkway like the wall before you enter the door. If you're talking inside the room, to be honest, because of that wall, the person passing can hear you. But the person cannot hear. I don't know how it is. I think it's a soundproof door. The person, if you are in front of the door, you are not going to hear. But if you are like passing from the wall, like passing the wall side, the walkway, you will actually hear some things if the voices are so audible. So I think what drew my attention that day was a laughter. I told you that you can hear if you're passing like the wall side. So I heard a laughter as I was passing there. Before I got to the door to like open the door, I paused. My instincts just told me to pause because the laughter was, I could hear Ella's voice clearly, but I wasn't sure who the second person was. So I had to like pause and slow down. I feel like my instinct just wanted me to hear what was actually going on behind my back that particular day. So I reduced my speed and stood at a spot just so I could hear what was going on in that room. So after the laughter, I think the next thing I heard, or the first thing I heard was, she always feels like she's perfect, or something like she always feels like she's perfect or she has a perfect life. One of them, I know I heard something relating to perfect and something about she feels like she's pretty. I mean, she feels like she's pretty enough. I can't really place my head because it has been like a while. And Laura laughed. I know I heard Laura's voice. Laura laughed. The person that said that thing about she feels she's perfect was Ella, and Laura laughed. So Laura was like, so why are you still friends with her? Why are you still like close friends with her and stuff like that? And Ella's reply was, it's pity. Like, she's still friends with me out of pity. And then this Laura was like, pity as in how? Why are you pitying her? Something happened to her. Like, that kind of pity as how? And Ella replied saying she doesn't really have friends. Most times she's lonely. She's always to herself. So I'm the one that she clings to the most. I'm the one that she comes, that I go to, Ella the most. So Ella was actually telling Laura that she's the one that I cling to the most because I don't really have friends. And I always talk about how, I'm not so good at making friends. So I'm grateful for Ella being my friend and stuff like that. So that was basically why Ella said she was pitying me because she didn't want me to be lonely. And I can imagine how I felt hearing something like that. That, oh, this baby is actually my friend just because she doesn't want me to feel pity and because I said I don't really have much friends. And I don't know if what she was saying was true or she was just saying for the sake of the friendship, she was trying to build with Laura or whatever. But the fact that she made such statements actually made me feel very, very sad and very hot. And immediately I turned back. So because of how I felt that day, I didn't enter that room. I didn't go to pick up what I wanted to take because I didn't want to like make it obvious that I just heard their conversation. So I had to turn back and came back 2 days later and I acted so normal and picked up what I wanted to collect. And the fact that she smiled with me the day I came to collect something from her room, like she never had any kind of conversation or anything. So I just picked it up and left. A part of me wanted to confront her, but at the same time, I was thinking about it like, is there actually any use confronting her? It wasn't like I heard it from someone else. I heard it with my ears, like so clear. So what's the use of confronting her? What am I expecting her to say? So I just, like, what I just did immediately was to return the energy of how she stopped coming to my room, how she stopped checking up on me and all of that. And do you know that after I returned energy, this girl never came or this girl never like reached out to me like, oh, what's up? Our friendship is dying. See what is happening. Like, what's going on? She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew everything she was doing. So I also didn't text her and like reach out to say, oh, so what's happening in our friendship? I left everything that way. And it got to a point where we'd see each other and walk past. That was how bad it got. Like, we never had any conversation about this issue, mind you. It just got to a point where we'd see each other and walk past. That was how this whole friendship ended. Sometimes when I see messages like, oh, can we be friends and stuff like that, I'm not trying to be proud or trying to be a snob or something, but I'm having PTSD from that friendship breakup. How everything ended, I still think about it because in my head I'm like, if someone I was that close to for how many years could do that bad to me? I mean, anybody could do worse. The thought of that actually made me to just prefer being on my own or maybe just mingling with maybe the few persons that I became friends with afterwards, because that particular friendship breakup actually hurt so bad. It actually made me overthink life and overthink a lot of things. So yeah, that's all that happened.
Guys, please be careful of the friends that you keep around you because not all of them means you well. A lot of them are jealous of you. A lot of them hate you. A lot of them just want things from you. So guys, please vet your friends before you become their friends because, child, these days are crazy. But we're at the end of the video, guys. Please thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.